speed we have, okay. Now we're going to take you to Bayview,
Bayfront Park.
Bayfront Park, okay. We have Mr. Timothy Schmond, like
Correct.
Pond, is here, and he is, what title do you have?
I'm the executive director of the Bayfront
Executive
Park
director.
Management Trust.
Oh, and you have the gray hairs to prove it.
Yes, I do.
How long have you been the executive director?
I've been the executive director about 6 years, but
Uh-huh.
I've been in the park for 17.
17 years. What did you
If
do
you
there
can imagine.
prior?
I had been
Yes.
the associate director at the History Museum,
Okay.
and I decided that I wanted to go back to school and get an MFA.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't do a full-time job and go to school simultaneously, so I left the museum and started getting my MFA.
Oh, okay.
My success at the History Museum was based on my ability to write grants.
Ah.
The people at the park called me and said, could you fix a grant problem we're having? I said, yes, I could fix your problem. So I fixed that problem, and then one thing led to another, and
There you are. huh?
14 years later, I became the executive director.
Different. Now, what makes up the whole park?
Bayfront Park was originally 64 acres, and
Wow.
it was built on land purchased from the Flagler interests in the 1920s,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all underwater. And after
Oh, you bought Florida real estate.
bought Florida real estate, and for 7 months, the dredges ran night and day pumping water into what became Bayfront Park. And originally, it was 64 acres of parkland.
Yeah.
In the 1980s, they split the park in half and gave half to the Rouse Company for development, which is now Bayside,
Mhm.
and the 32 acres are the remaining part of the park that we manage today.
Now, it's open to the public 24/7? How does it work?
It's open to the public 24/7, except on special event days. The amphitheater, which takes up about 6 acres of the park, is used for gated and free events. And of course, on the days when there's gated events, it's not open to the amphitheater. It's not open to the public unless you have a
Yeah.
ticket.
Mm-hmm. Do you support programming to come to that thing as well? as Lucas?
We organize New Year's Eve and the 4th of July as our traditional
Now, what do you
annual
do on
shows.
New Year's Eve there?
On New Year's Eve, it's pretty special.
Oh, it is.
On New Year's Eve, we will do a full show in the amphitheater. We will have food vendors and children's activities.
Oh, it's a family affair.
Right, we do not vend
Ah.
alcohol.
Okay,
It's an
good for you.
alcohol-free event, and in the south end of the park, the Big Orange rises up the side of the Hotel Intercontinental, and at midnight, when it reaches the top,
Wait a minute, hold on, you're pulling a trick on me. What big orange rises up where?
there is a signature icon for the holidays in Miami is a Big Orange. And it's a large representation of a big orange wearing sunglasses and smiling, of course.
Yeah.
And on New Year's Eve, it ascends the side of the Hotel Intercontinental, and when it reaches the top, there is neon lights that say Happy New Year. Fireworks go off the top of the Hotel Intercontinental as well as out on the bay. And we draw 70,000 of our closest friends to that event.
I never knew that. The happy orange.
The Big Orange.
The big orange they
The
call
Big
it.
Orange. The Big Orange New Year's Eve.
Trying to keep up to us in New York. Okay.
Well, your ball drops, and our
Drops.
orange ascends.
Go ahead, it sends. All right. Now, what's the future of the park? What's going to happen?
There's a number of things going on. We're currently in negotiations with Live Nation to take over the operation and management of the amphitheater. They've recognized it as a potential venue for their large traveling shows, and we would be happy to have them
Who's
home.
Live Nation? They bring animals or what?
Live Nation is the largest music promoter in the world.
Okay.
They have venues around the country, and it's their expertise to operate amphitheaters, theaters, large stadiums.
That's a big trick.
It's a
You'd
big
be
trick.
surprised. I mean, you must have immense security there.
Whenever you do a show, when you invite public to a location, the public to a location, first and foremost you have to ensure their security and safety.
Correct.
And then you have to ensure that once they're in the venue, every possible need that they could have would be met, whether food, drink, sanitary facilities, access to ATMs, all of those things. You have to make it so that they don't have to leave the facility to have any of their needs
Now,
met.
if Live Nation came, are they going to fix it up better and put
What
more
they are
seating in it?
proposing to do, right now we have bench seating, which
Yes.
has been the seating that we've had since the
Beginning. Yeah.
And they're proposing stadium-style seating with
Okay.
individual seats for,
Yes.
I think, 3,000 people, as well as in the back raised VIP
I was going to say they're going to have skyboxes. I knew it was coming.
And then, of course, the lawn would remain for GA.
Okay, that sounds very good.
That's what we think.
So how fast are they going to do this? Or
Well, we're
they
still in
got
negotiations.
negotiation
So
with
that's
them?
part of that process.
Now, you get yourself 10 skyboxes up there, and you keep 2 for the city.
Right, well, it's all in
Because
negotiations.
when the mayor comes, you got to treat him right,
Absolutely, and it's all in negotiations. And then outside the amphitheater, we're working on softening the edges of the park. The park was designed in the 1980s by Osamu Noguchi, and there wasn't too much thought given to shade. So we're in the process of planting trees and relocating walkways so as to make
Kind
the
of
mark,
spruce it up and give it a different.
make it more comfortable for the
Wait,
visiting
I can
public.
get you the Tree and Plant Society to come over and plant for it. Do you hear that interview I did today?
No, I
It's
missed
an
that.
organization here in Miami, and they go out and plant trees on city property. The city digs the holes.
Isn't that
and they
great?
bring the plants and they plop them in and.
Yeah, I'll need
take
that
it.
information.
Good. Get the names for the guy. We'll get you. See, we got you the trees already. But it was kind of interesting to hear that because the city of Miami really should be nothing but foliage.
Right,
Like
it
mad.
should have a tree canopy,
Yeah.
the likes of
Now,
which.
what down front, you have the big curve of all the stores.
Mm-hmm.
What is down in front there? Is there any kind of way you can have venues there as well?
Where the stores are located,
Yeah.
that is Bayside Marketplace, and
Marketplace.
that's controlled by Bayside itself. So in the area across the street from that, where the amphitheater is, we
Yeah.
have a plan for softening the edges with trees and
In that area
walkways.
there too?
Right, the whole way. Since the 1930s, Biscayne Boulevard, the 30s through about 6 years ago, Biscayne Boulevard was the host location for the Big Orange Parade.
Oh, okay.
And as a result of the Big Orange Parade, nothing could be set within 50 feet of the boulevard because each year they would put up bleachers.
Oh, okay.
It's the Orange Bowl Parade.
Well, you can, excuse me for a second, I didn't turn this damn thing off. Screw it, hold on a second, let me do this thing real quick. Edit, edit, edit. Edit. Hold on, let me get this thing done, because otherwise I'm gonna do this thing crazily. There, I found the button.
That's great.
What?
Life should be like that.
Oh, I did it live
Right.
already, I've done that.
Edit, and then just go on.
Oh, I've done it on the air live already, so.
Oh, okay.
I've forgotten many times. In fact, some people would test to see if the show was live, they would dial me on the
That's
air.
great.
All right, we'll pick up here. Now, so if you soften the park, then what are you going to do about those stands when they come?
The Orange Bowl Parade doesn't take place anymore, so
You've told them to
hopefully-
leave town?
No, what happened is the Orange Bowl Parade was television sponsor driven. And changes in television programming haven't made nighttime parades on New Year's Eve as popular as they once may have been. So as a result of the
okay.
lack of sponsorship, the Orange Bowl Parade doesn't take place
I was
anymore.
suggesting that you put the anchors in, here and there, so
Right,
they can
right.
just plop them on
But-
the anchors without touching the foliage.
The way that cities evolve, Miami is evolving, and the loss of the Orange Bowl Parade is just part of that evolution.
No, I understand, but I'm a little bit surprised that they don't have some kind of a daytime parade or something. You have a Christmas parade down here?
No, we don't do a Christmas parade. At Bayfront Park, we do a holiday tree lighting and a holiday tree lighting ceremony.
Where's your tree?
Right in the middle of the promenade. Flagler Street is the zero street in our grid system, and there's a Flagler extension that comes into the park, and in the middle of that, we put up a 60-foot tree and have a
You
tree.
import?
No, it's the best deal I ever had on a tree.
Okay.
They take it out, it's not real. So we're not cutting down trees.
You mean you're artificial?
Yes, but we're not cutting down trees,
Oh, okay.
which we believe is a good
Oh,
thing
okay,
to do.
great.
And some men come and put it up the day after Thanksgiving, and then they take it away after Three Kings Parade, and they store it in a warehouse and bring it out the next year. And while it's in the warehouse, they refurbish the lights
Clean
and the
up whatever has to be
decorations.
done.
Yeah, it's
Right. Really?
great. Yeah, it's one of the best deals
Don't
around.
tell that to Rockefeller Center.
Well, Rockefeller Center is a different location.
Yeah, but they
Rockefeller-
bring a tree in, and then they bring in extra branches to fill it in, and they trim it and do everything on it.
One year there was a competition between Bayfront Park and Rockefeller Center, and it's really not a competition,
No.
but Bayfront Park had the world's largest Christmas tree. Rockefeller Center never says they have the world's largest tree, they just say they have the best.
Well, they make it fit aesthetically
Right,
in there,
right.
whatever. Then.
So there was something of a competition.
So, what special events do you have at the park
Well,
besides the New Year's? Now we did that one.
one of the things that we're most proud of is our free yoga in the park.
Free yoga.
3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, we do free yoga.
Where's the Tai Chi people?
Nobody has come to us about Tai Chi, but we started doing yoga. It was 3 people sitting on a dock in the south end of the park. And now regularly on a weeknight, we'll get 100 people to come to our yoga classes.
Good show.
Yeah, so
Good
that's
show.
that's pretty fun. And then we have a trapeze school in the park, where for an amount of money you can go to the trapeze guys and learn how to fly.
Okay.
We do a boot camp in the park. We do yoga on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and we do boot camp on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then, the park is the preferred location for the corporate run,
Yeah.
the Miami Marathon, and a number of charitable walks that take place throughout the year.
Very good.
So we're very busy all the
So
time.
what's your fantasy? What would you like to see done in the future?
My goal is to make a park that is comfortable for everybody to come to,
Right.
and that is more trees. And trees are...
Do you have picnic spaces?
No, we don't have picnic spaces because we don't view ourselves as that kind of park. We're a park we'd like to imagine ourselves to be emulating Bryant Park in
Oh, okay.
Manhattan, because we
Okay.
think that's a great model, and that's what we're striving for. And, slowly but surely the park is evolving into that model.
But what about along the waterfront? Anything down there?
On the waterfront is interesting. That area in the park is owned by the Army Corps of Engineers, and it was built as a
Is their
result.
job to take care of it?
It was built as a result of a Department of Defense funding back when Claude Pepper was the
Mr. Pepper,
congressman
yes,
from Miami. So that's leased back to the city until 2048. They built the walkway at the water's edge
Yeah.
similar to the Autobahn. It's about 70 feet wide and has no trees. And I think in the next fiscal year, if the budget holds up, we're going to take out pieces of that Autobahn and drop in little islands of trees throughout to get it
break
to
it up a little bit.
soften the edge.
So in other words, the Corps of Engineers have to take care of it then.
No, it's totally us.
You're a nickel.
Absolutely. It says that, it doesn't say your nickel, but it's implied in the contract.
You take care of it.
Right.
But if you had to have pilings adjusted or anything like that, they would come and do that, obviously. We don't want any. We don't want it any more New Orleans.
No,
you know what I
I
mean?
don't. I think that the trust is completely responsible for the maintenance. I think.
Okay, so the hours of the whole operation are what?
Bayfront Park is pretty much open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
Because the Hotel Intercontinental and the residential component across the street, people like to take their dogs for walks or go jogging all
You
hours.
allow dogs
We
in
do.
your park?
We, at either end of the park.
Either
there
end,
are-
okay, we restrict it.
At either end of the park, there are, dog equipment, little baggies
Yes.
that you can take in to clean up after your dog. And we prefer that you keep your dog on a leash.
Yes, right, well, it's required in the
It's
city of New York,
required.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't let the dogs run wild, can they really?
No, they shouldn't, but they do.
Oh, really, that's dangerous for
It is.
dogs.
It's
Not-
dangerous
Not
for the
because
dog.
of the public, for the animals.
It's dangerous for the dog, it's dangerous for the public.
Yeah.
And, it disappoints the staff.
It disappoints your staff.
Right.
All right. All right, we got it, Timothy. I thank you very much. So it's a free, just come on down and
Just come on
enjoy it.
down. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful. I thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You call it, now wait a minute, you call it the Bay Front
Correct.
is the park,
Bayfront Park
and Bayside
is the marketplace.
is the marketplace. All
Correct.
right. You get the rents from them?
We get nothing from them, except they're good neighbors. And
How did you miss that?
they signed a lease with Bayfront before they created or with
Yeah,
Bayside.
I'm just teasing. Darn it, we could have got that. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will be back. No, you're wired.